Hello, it's Howard Rheingold. The first step in constructing a dashboard is to keep in mind that while part of what I'm going to demonstrate is about how to use technology, you also need to retool the way you pay attention to the information flowing in through your screen. It really doesn't matter how you organize your pages, your tabs, and the feeds in those tabs, as long as you also organize your information browsing habits accordingly, putting the current task-related feeds in the leftmost column, with the most frequently checked feed at the top of the column, for example, and your most task-related tabs on the left, with your perhaps less task-related tabs on the right. And of course, you can always shuffle these around. It doesn't matter exactly how you organize them, as long as you organize your attention the same way you organize your browser. You turn a feed reader like Netvibes into your intelligence dashboard by organizing it in a way that finds, filters, prioritizes, updates, and tunes the information streams that come to you on topics you designate. As already mentioned, you can use Netvibes pages as personal portals into entire realms. And within each page, you can use tabs to create viewing platforms on specific information streams. I'm starting with an overview of how to build your personal intelligence dashboard, because as the name implies, it functions as both a control panel and as a means of viewing incoming information streams, like a telescope or microscope for extending your attention into the infoverse, enabling you to see and know things that your unaided attention might have missed. After introducing the dashboard, I'll concentrate on how to find and filter by tuning incoming information streams, keeping in mind that after they are found and filtered, you will monitor your customized information streams through your dashboard. I adopted the word dashboard from one of my favorite websites, Read Write Web. Technically, what I'm talking about is most often called an RSS aggregator, RSS reader, or newsreader, a web service that makes it easy to subscribe to and read RSS feeds. When you add widgets, chunks of flash code that can deliver continuously updated multimedia content, use RSS feeds for persistent searches and alerts, as well as for following updates on blogs, and filter your feeds through a service like PostRank, run your streams through Yahoo pipes to sort and filter them further, then use pages, tabs, and screen arrangements to further organize your incoming information. An intelligence dashboard, as Read Write Web calls it, is a better name. I started by trying newsreaders that required me to use separate client software, but as more and more of my online activities took place through a web browser, I moved to Bloglines, a web-based RSS reader. Then I migrated to Google Reader. Either one of these are still useful. Indeed, Google offers its own dashboard with iGoogle, but I've switched to a more recent generation of web start pages called Netvibes. When you start a Netvibes account, you will get a General tab as a default. This might be where you put news widgets, weather or travel alerts, information you want to be able to consult regularly. Your strategy for managing incoming information streams, what I introduce as radars, a term I learned from Roman info wizard Robin Good and Dutch RSS master Marjolein Hoekstra, starts when you create your first page and then your first tab. You begin building the interface between your mental and technical filters when you think through categories of feeds you want to start with. You can add and subtract tabs at any time. The categories are not as important as exercising your skill at categorizing. I use two different pages for my examples. A public page that I can use to show how to build a dashboard from scratch, and my private dashboard that's already populated with feeds, which I will mine for examples of what it looks like when you're connected to all the online tools. The General tab on my private page has many windows on my email and friend feed activity, news widgets that display the latest reports from the New York Times, Google News, and Reddit. The General tab is a version of what I used to be called a home page and is sometimes now called a start page. But all I need to do is raise my gaze from my general dashboard to see the tabs for my more specialized interests. For example, besides my Ego tab, I have tabs for digital journalism, social media, education, iPhone, mind thinking, literacy, my Sprouts, web tech, science, topics that I have a long-term or fleeting interest in following me. You can always move tabs around when you change your priorities. And you can always edit a tab by clicking on it and then clicking on the edit. You can change the layout. In a tab. You can add feeds to it, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. The best way to learn Netvibes, I think, is to feel free to experiment. Create, edit, and delete pages, tabs, and feeds. See what kind of public sharing you can do with public pages and what kinds of things you want to put on pages for your eyes only. There is no penalty for scribbling all over any page then erasing it. Bits are cheap.